After 25 years, Google has finally decided to radically change its search experience. In the past few months, ChatGPT and Bing's new AI-powered search have threatened Google's position as a monopoly over search. After the rushed release of Bard, the lukewarm response, and the multiple issues raised by internal staff calling it worse than useless, Google really needs this one. The new project is currently codenamed MAGI. With MAGI, Google will provide users with a more personalized chat experience using AI. MAGI will have an interactive interface like ChatGPT, and you can converse with the search engine. MAGI will also allow you to make financial transactions and purchase stuff directly from a search. It will use Google's existing Google Pay integration to do so. Now, if you are a developer, this might be really useful. MAGI will also help answer coding questions and generate snippets of code. As a developer myself, Googling is a very important part of the job. Although GitHub's Copilot is a good addition, but Googling still might be the best resource to solve problems that you might come across while coding. Google is also working on integrating other features into the search, one of them being Giphy. Giphy will generate images using AI and add these images to the image search results. Bing has also just launched their image creator, and I'll be covering that in my upcoming videos. Another interesting addition is Tivoli Tutor, which helps you learn new languages by chatting with an AI. This might be a competitor to Duolingo, which is currently using ChatGPT to power its Duolingo Max service. These releases by Google are very crucial, and Google needs them to succeed in order to keep up with Microsoft and OpenAI, especially since Samsung is also considering dumping Google and opting for Microsoft's Bing as a default search engine on its phones. Still, Google was very upfront saying that this is only a deck and might not come to fruition. Well, we all know that Google has a habit of dropping projects midway through production. Stadia. But it's unlikely that Google will let go of its golden goose so easily. MAGI is planned to be released next month to 1 million users in the US and will be released to at least 30 million users by the end of the year. We will cover it extensively when it drops, so make sure to subscribe for the upcoming updates. In other Google news, the Brain team at Google and DeepMind have merged together to create a new unit called Google DeepMind. This new unit is basically Google's A-team for working on AI research and product development. The name change sure was confusing though. I, like many others, thought it was already called Google DeepMind. Google has changed its name multiple times in the last 13 years. Hopefully they have now settled on a permanent name. We also saw the launch of MiniGPT. MiniGPT essentially is ChatGPT for images. If you remember the first demo video of GPT-4, you might remember that Greg draws the layout of the website on a napkin and GPT-4 turns the image of the napkin idea into a website. Here's a glimpse of it.
I have here a nice hand-drawn mock-up of a joke website. Definitely worthy of being put up on my refrigerator. So I'm just going to take out my phone, literally take a photo of this mock-up, and then I'm going to send it to our Discord. And here we go. Technology is now solved. And so we can actually take now this output. So literally we just said to output the HTML from that picture. And here we go. Actual working JavaScript, filled in the jokes. For comparison, this was the original of our mockup. And so there you go, going from hand-drawn, beautiful art, if I do say so myself, to working website.
Well, even though it was demoed months ago, the functionality is not yet available to the public until now. MiniGPT allows you to do this and various other tasks that include image input. Here is an example similar to the napkin example. It uses a drawing on paper to generate code for the website in 60 seconds. You can also ask it for solutions by directly posting images of your problem. One example involves providing an image of a plant leaf with brown spots and asking why the leaf is developing it. It then gives you potential reasons that might be causing this and also gives you solutions on how to get rid of this problem. Here is another example of asking it to fix a broken washing machine and adding an image of a broken washing machine. It then gives you potential reasons that might have caused the breakage, and then it gives you the solution to fix the problem. This is very useful to give the AI model a more exact context of your problem and might lead to better results in cases like the above. In my last video, I covered the changes in AI video generation. There were some other topics that I wanted to cover. One of those topics that I wanted to discuss was the latest updates to Adobe Firefly, especially the 3D to image feature. The new feature helps you guide Firefly to generate an AI image using 3D objects. You can use 3D objects to give more shape to generated image results. Look at this example. Here a bunch of rock-shaped 3D objects are added as a reference, and when Firefly is prompted with rocky mountains with a beautiful landscape, it creates an image of a rocky mountain in place of the 3D objects and a sea around it. Similarly, with the Christmas tree example, you just use cylinders and a cone to create a 3D model that looks like a tree, and the model draws around it. You can also add some square boxes below the tree, and it realizes those must be gifts and fills them. The important thing to note here is that it gives you more creative control over the AI model and helps you drive the model towards your actual vision for a certain scene. Another story that blew up last week was the Zip-Nerf model created by the engineers at Google. This model helps create these home interior drone video shots just by using some images. Well, a new paper was just released yesterday. This paper introduces HOSNeRF. The model works using a video that is recorded using just one camera in a natural real-world setting, and it allows you to pause the video at any frame and explore the scene in detail, seeing people, objects, and backgrounds from any angle you want. Nerf tech is already used to create realistic visual effects in movies and video games. The Nerf model is a technique that uses machine learning to understand how light behaves with objects in a picture. It creates something called as a radiance field to make these predictions. Nerf gets better by looking at many photos of the same thing taken from different angles. The more picture it checks out, the better it understands how light moves around, making the 3D model it creates look more realistic. I've added the link both to the HOSNeRF and the Zip-Nerf research papers in the description below. You can also check out the videos comparing it to similar models. Well, those are the important developments for this video. I went through a lot of news in one video. Some of these news, although important, might not be big enough to warrant an entire video. So I've decided to cover multiple topics if necessary instead of dragging on a single topic. I hope you liked this video. Comment and let me know if you like the other format better. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one.